Lights, camera, and action. Cut.
Welcome back, guys. Well, this is the new episode of the chat. We have today in the house Aakash, Phulwani, Pranav, and the other link, which is missing right now, Ashoka Singh, who brings the whole team of Afrodesi. So, before we get into the show, can you both tell us a little bit about what is exactly Afrodesi?
Sure, yeah. So Afrodesi is pretty much we bring two different. It's a fusion of two different styles, which is Afro dance, which is a style of dance that goes to Afrobeats music, which is very upcoming right now, and Bollywood. So like by Desi we mean we can do any kind of Desi music. It could be South Asian artists, it could be Bollywood, it could be Bhangra. So we just try to mix those two styles in terms of their music and their dance styles. So that brought about Afro Desi. So that's the concept.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, even like going back a little bit, like the origin story of it is it's just, we just started dancing together. He joined my dance team and, well, not my dance team, the company I was on, and we danced together for a few months. And he actually introduced me to the world of Afro dance, and to me, as a very trained Bollywood dancer, it was something completely new. But when I went to those classes, I noticed this energy, this vibrant energy that was very similar and very familiar to me, and that's where we kind of just started talking to each other. We said maybe there's a middle ground here. And speaking of what he said a little bit earlier, is that Bollywood knows no limit, and Indian dance, because it's so divided into so many subcultures, has so many unique dance styles that fall under its umbrella. And Afro dance is kind of the same way. There's different dance moves and styles from across Africa, and so kind of like the potential of combinations and ideas that we could play with is just so immense that we thought that, hey, maybe this is something we can try. And we tried it, and we're blessed. We were blessed to have really good results, and the rest is history, and we're here. So it's been pretty incredible.
Yeah. For me also, it also gets a little personal in terms of being Indian ethnically and growing up in Tanzania. So it was always like culture is Indian, but I've also grown up in Tanzania, so like it gave me that perspective of like the African culture, interact with people in my school, outside, with the music when I went out. So I grew up doing Bollywood. That was like pretty much what I did with my sister. And as soon as I got to college, I started my own African dance team, and shout out to African Renaissance. And that's where I got into the Afrobeats world, and I kind of like just picked up myself, like I just learned and I taught myself and looking at videos and all. So it was always like, oh, do I want to do Afrobeats? Do I want to do Bollywood? I was always like going back and forth, like, so having that, like, identity crisis, like, okay, where do I belong? But then I was like, it's a good idea to just bring those two cultures together, because both those sides are not really exposed to each other as much. So it's a good idea to like, just bring them together so that like even the Afro community sees the Bollywood side, and the like Desi community gets to see the Afrobeat side. So that's the whole concept that we want to bring out with Afro Desi.
That's amazing. Like, I have seen a lot of videos of yours, not yet tried one of your workshops, but it's amazing how two different cultures can come in together, blend in so smooth, and be fun and exciting. So, in the creative world right now, like, let it be dance or workshops, it is kind of tough to survive. We all get into the biggest launch, but it's tough to survive and keep it up and running. At the end of the day, it's commercial, right? It's got to be a business. So how do you try to keep it fresh?
Well, I think we have a natural inherent advantage, and our advantage is uniqueness. It's what we do in the market. We're three Indian guys, rather, who actually put out this content that nobody's ever seen before. And it's kind of, it's a challenge in its own sense, because we have to play with it, and we have to see, are we, we have to consider some serious factors. Are we appropriating anything? And those are all like little types of questions that we have to ask ourselves as we're going through the choreography, to make sure that we're paying correct homage to the moves, but then we're also combining them in a way that they go with each other. And so I think that's what kind of drew the crowd in the beginning. When we first started in May, is everyone came up after class and said, this is something I've never done before, but it's something that I want to do because the energy is consistent, whether it's Bollywood moves or Afro moves. It comes together into this cohesive piece. And that's kind of what allowed us to kind of grow, and Aakash can talk to a little bit more about this, to kind of where we are today, after traveling a little bit with our shows, with our workshops rather, and getting positive feedback. So
yeah, I mean, because it's so different, people haven't done it before. So like it was well received. Like we didn't expect like just after a few workshops we would be able to like have the ability to go to a different city and still be able to have people come out to our workshop. So that was a very big thing that, we went to 3 different cities. We went to Philly, we went to LA, and we went to DC. So it was really good to, just go out there and still see like people are picking up on this very new thing. I would say we're fairly new. Like, we have only done 4 workshops in New York. So being that new and seeing the response we're getting, like we're very humbled. And I think the best part about it is that, like people are getting to, every time they come to class, they go back with something new. And that's the important part. Like they get to learn about a different culture, different dance movement. And more than anything, like, just get exposed to like a completely different community. So that's the main goal. Like, I feel like when you say it's all comes down to business at the end of the day, I don't think our main goal is like, like money or like, have it commercialize it. No, but like our main aim is to like, just spread this, like, Afrobeats vibes to the Desi community and like the Bollywood vibes to the Afrobeats. Like, just bringing those 2 cultures together is our main aim. Like, having the cultural literacy through our content and the dance we do.
Okay, we keep talking about this positive experience you guys had and how it's amazing and how you guys are growing, and I wish you good luck. But one major challenge that you faced or still continue to face in this field right now?
I'd say, and it's a negative, but it's a positive, and it's what we always constantly challenge ourselves with, and it's when people and artists come from very different backgrounds, when we work with each other constantly, we teach with each other, we spend more and more time with each other, we learn how to improve in communication and how to bounce our ideas off of each other and also grow as dancers ourselves. And so I think our biggest challenge always is recognizing our weaknesses as individual artists, our strengths as individual artists, and then figuring out ways that we can contribute that to each other. And so he contributes to my Afro dancing, and he walks me through moves, and then I do the same for him for more Bollywood movements. But at the same time, we understand that that's not enough. And another challenge for us is that in an environment like New York, where everybody's constantly looking to grow and do the next big thing, there's a great network here, and we have a lot to gain from training with other artists, going to their workshops and supporting them, but also learning from them. And I think that's like the biggest challenge, is always how to stay ahead of the curve. And so I think that's been a big challenge for us. I don't know.
And yeah, another big challenge, because we're both dancers, the music part is a most important like element of our concept, is like how do we bring the 2 musics, like, the Afrobeats and like Bollywood music together and create a mix that like, no one's heard before. And I think that's what took us a lot of time to figure out, how do we do this? Like, where do we find a DJ who can like, who understands both Afrobeats and who understands like Desi music? And like, that's why I want to do a huge shout out to Ankit Modi. He's from Tanzania. He's one of my buddies from Tanzania. And one day I just thought about it. I'm like, hey, this guy knows Afrobeats and this guy knows Desi music. He's really talented DJ. He's very big around in East Africa. So like, shout out to Ankit Modi. He's been doing our mixes and, he's been very supportive, and it's just great to see that people back home are catching up on like Afrodesi and like are really like happy to see that, people in New York are dancing to like, Afrobeats and like, especially with Modi, like his music is like going out everywhere here. So thank you so much, Ankit. And yeah, I mean, that was our biggest like challenge. And I think, with Ankit, with us, like, the support we have is like, we're doing better with that. Like, we're getting mixes. He has a good sense of music. So that's been very helpful.
It's amazing how friends come to our rescue at the 11th hour or any time when we ask, and it's good to use our connections whenever possible.
Yep.
And one more question is, so I know that you guys have been mentioning about the workshops you've been taking throughout the country, but initially when you started, how did you want to take it outside the New York realm? Like, how big you wanted to take it and how often do you want to keep doing it?
Before we move forward, I just want to say I hope Ashoka Singh is watching. Shout out to you, dude. We miss you because he was the one who also was with us when we started this. Fortunately, he is not here, but
he's our glue. He's our glue.
He's our yeah. He puts us together. So shout out to him, Ashoka. Watch, like, subscribe.
To answer your question, honestly, and you know, a lot of the things that happen in these types of industries is also just good luck and good faith. And so what happened to us was we had just done our second workshop, and this great dance company in DC called Rhythmaya, a huge shout out to them. They reached out to us and they said, we want to host you guys. And we weren't that big. They had just seen us on like Bali Shake and stuff like that. They said, we have 200 plus students and
wow.
and we want you to come here and teach them a new style and they'd love to learn from you. And we jumped at the opportunity, of course. Like we were like, oh my God, like this is huge. How can they even want us to come? And so that really got us going. That's actually the first time that, you know, we seriously considered, hey, we could take this out of New York because it was so premature in our own minds in the process of it all. But then, like, it was like, once we did that, it kind of just snowball effect, right? And it just led to us doing a few other cities. And now we're just hungry to go everywhere. And now there's people all over, and God bless them, everywhere, just asking us, hey, come to our city. You know, hold a workshop here.
When they ask us, I'm like, really? Are you sure you want us to come? Like, wait, like, do people even know us? Like, we just started. Like, you know, it's just like always a surprise. Like, people are like, oh, come to our city. I'm like, maybe like once people know about us, we'll come. But apparently, like, you know, people are showing so much love. So that's
it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's truly amazing. And there's people that we look up to in the arts, and even they've given us a lot of like positive energy and sent it our way and good wishes. And I think that that's kind of what just drives us. It's kind of awesome in that way. So
and also like a big thing would be like having Bali Shake support. Like that was great. Varun,
that's great.
Shout out to Varun. He's always been in touch with us and he helps out. So that's also been a great support for getting our word out, you know, to the community. So that helped us a lot in the beginning and like continues to help us on our way.
It definitely sounds like something not out of a fortnight, but a continued support from everybody around them, and hard work definitely paid off finally. They are booming right now, trending and everywhere in networks. Like, even if you go and hit on YouTube or Instagram, they are right now the most trending person. If they are visiting your city or town, or if you're in and around New York or the tri-state area, definitely come to one of their workshops. I'm going to be there. I hope to see you guys too.
Hey, you better be there.
Yay. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the show. It was amazing chatting and learning a lot about Afrodesi.
Make sure you like, subscribe, share wherever it is. Make sure you do.
And a huge shout out to my boy Gigi, Gautam Gurnani, Jokerface Entertainment. Make sure you check them out.
The man.
Dope content. And yeah, thanks for this.
Feel free to
Afrodesi
Venmo
boys.
us at Afrodesi whenever you want.
Oh yeah.